Alright guys, welcome back to the first ever infinite flight, full flight video. Today we'll be flying a full flight from Kilo Sierra Alpha November. We're obviously going to end, this is the previous flight that I did. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a full flight video today. Basically we're going to do a fully loaded, so that means from takeoff to landing. We're going to be using Austrain Airlines Gate 41. It's going to be a sunrise flight. And we're basically gonna fly all the way down to Los Angeles on the 55 departure route, and then we'll do the transition after that. So welcome aboard the Austrain Airlines. I know Austrain Airlines doesn't normally fly this route. I get it. It happens. It is what it is. But we're gonna basically go ahead and start a flight plan here. We're gonna be at Kilo Sierra Alpha November. We're gonna fly basically, my flight plans are very easy. They're not the most complicated flight plans of all time. But anyways, we're basically gonna fly all the way up to Los Angeles, and then maybe we'll do the autopilot landing. I'm not too sure right now exactly what we're gonna do. Whoops. What the heck just happened? I guess we could do that too. You know, let's cancel that. Here, let's do this. Let's clear that leg and we'll remake it. Alright, so we're in San Diego right now. We'll go add. And we'll basically take the plane up to Los Angeles via the Santa Catalina Islands. Kind of one of my favorite VOR or transition, because you gotta see the Santa Catalina, and then we'll take it naturally over to runway 04. Let me just turn down the volume a tad bit. So welcome aboard this Austrian Airlines Airbus A321 today. Like I said, you know, we don't need any of this junk sitting here. We don't need our map right now. What we are gonna do though real quick is I am gonna go into the settings. Oops, get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's go into settings here. Let's go interface. Let's go. That's not gonna work. Interface timeout. Never. Okay. There we go. Alright, we're going to set our altitude for 12,000. I know you can go a lot higher, but that's our cruising altitude today. Heading of 275 initially, and then once we push back and get on the runway here, we'll be heading of 274, because we'll be taking off runway 27 today for departure. We are going to be ferrying the aircraft. I might try to use the autopilot landing thing here. Just depending on how it goes. 274 speed, obviously you guys know, under 10,000 feet is 250 knots, minus anything else that you have. Alright, we're pretty much all set up. Welcome aboard Austrian Airlines. I'm not an Australian person, but for someone that is Austrian, well, you got your favorite. Spoilers we'll check after. We'll go ahead and start our pushback. And I will show you guys the left wing view. Now, I'm not going to be talking throughout the flight, so there will be background music as soon as we get out in the air here. Obviously, it might just be one of those flights where you can skip through the cruise, because we're going to basically have the full flight, which includes the cruising. So you're not going to be able to, we're not going to cut this into parts where there's not going to be any cruising. There's going to be, it's basically a full flight, so what that means is you're basically going to see everything from takeoff to landing. And so it's going to be about a 40-ish minute flight. We'll start pushback right there. And we'll get ready to taxi here. We're gonna taxi down to the full end. Let's go ahead and just set our weight and balance. I know we should have done this at the gate, but you know what? Unfortunately, I didn't. So we won't need that much. We'll need both. So we are somewhat of a full flight, fully loaded. Flaps 2 for departure. I know that's kind of odd, but with the amount of people we have, I think it'll be worth the amount of flaps I put down. Alright, we're on our way out. Austrian Airlines. I know it's not, maybe not all of your favorites, and it's really rare that you see Australian Airlines flying to Los Angeles, but in this game, there is no, you know, reality with it. You could really fly any airline you want. So, today we're picking Austrian Airlines. We're going to be Austrian Flight 7772 service to Los Angeles. Now I'm not too sure how you use this whole autopilot landing system. So once we get into cruise, I'm gonna try to search up how to use this autopilot landing system. So you can see that the nose wheel is not quite on the center line. Our local time right now is 12:15, and yeah. So yeah, everyone, just enjoy the flight. I'm gonna search up really quickly. I've got another monitor. How to use the APPR system on Infinite Flight. And yeah, this is supposed to be a nice flight. While we're taxiing here. There's the interior. Try to keep it on the center line. And yes, I know that Flaps 2 is a little bit weird, but I thought it would be kind of cool to show you guys how to use it. So we're gonna try to use the, I might just auto land it. Or the other thing I might do is I might manually land it if I can. Should be able to manually land it though. If you guys want, you can skip ahead since we are not, you know. So, one of the things I've gotten pretty often here during when we fly here, out here around the Los Angeles area, is one of the questions I'm going to answer today before any of you guys start asking is, how come there has been no videos? Well, you guys have to understand, I still go to school, so school is priority, and whenever I get the chance to make the videos, I try my best to make them. But in some cases, it just doesn't happen when you want it to happen, you know. Alright, right now we're gonna go ahead and turn on our landing lights. We're coming up on the runway here, and we'll turn on brakes. We'll also turn on HUD 1, just to see exactly how we're doing. You guys are gonna have to let me know how the sound quality sounds. I'm not sure how it sounds right now. But let me know once we're done this flight. So Alright. Getting ready to pull onto the runway here. I'm going to set our brakes so we can slow it down. Turn on strobe lights, even though you would turn that on. Alright, so welcome to the San Deigo runway 27 left for departure. I haven't confirmed exactly what runway we're going to be using for arrival. Obviously, that will be confirmed as soon as we get closer to the Los Angeles area. And since I am making a full flight, that means there is not going to be any cutout parts of the flight. So you guys are welcome to watch the whole thing, or you're welcome to skip ahead. Just so you know, it's probably going to be a 40-minute long video. So yeah, alright, we'll set up on the runway here. And we're going to go ahead and set up HUD 1. And get started going here. As soon as we get going here, I'll show you guys some of the other features. So we're gonna go ahead and stabilize it at 50% in 1. And brakes off. And we'll keep the yoke, try to keep it on the center line. Here we go. So again, this is Austrian flight 7772. I said 7773, I think. I don't remember exactly what I said, but it's okay. Alright, V1. Slowly rotate it backwards, keeping it off the ground. Positive rate, gear up, heading hold. Flaps 1 reduction. I don't know exactly when to reduct them, but I just put them in whenever they feel like they need to go in. And we'll go ahead and hold in altitude and speed hold, which is going to be 250 knots. And yeah, so basically that is it. We don't take manual control until we get to the destination. So just so it looks a little bit more realistic, I'm gonna turn down the volume. But so yeah, now we're just cruising at flight level. We're coming up here on the system. So hopefully you guys will be able to see this new, again, I got an iPod Touch, so the screen is much easier to control. We're going to be turning to another waypoint here shortly. As you can see, there's a beautiful plane. And just to make it a little bit more of a realistic experience, I have decided to turn it to... So we have another waypoint coming up here, you guys may well know. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn to 294. There we go. Climbing through flight level 7000. We're going to go ahead and ring the seatbelt sign. Now, I know most times they don't do this, but since we don't have the flight attendant charm, I just like to ring it. We are going to speed up to 320 knots as soon as we get up to our designated flight level. Bye-bye, San Diego, and we're going to Los Angeles today. Alright, passing 10,000 feet now. Landing lights can come off, and as soon as we get up to 12,000 here, we'll turn off seatbelt sign. We'll also increase our speed to 320 knots for this Airbus. That way we just got there a little bit quicker. Alright. Alright, seatbelt sign can come off. And yeah, just enjoy the cruise up to the Santa Catalina Islands, guys. Again, like I said, it's about a 45-minute flight up to the Santa Catalina Islands, and then we'll go from there. Basically, what I'm planning to do is once we get to the Santa Catalina Islands to do the autopilot landing, so hopefully we can get to that, and yeah. So we're just cruising right now at flight level 12,000, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some of the other stuff on Infinite Flight. So while we're cruising here at the flight level, we're gonna turn off the HUD, and I'm gonna show you guys some cool features that the Airbus now offers. So basically, this is the rudder down here, as you guys all know, and this actually moves. So when you are on the ground and taxiing, you can actually move that rudder control. Again, this is going to be a day flight, so there's no meal. Well, there is probably meals, but depending on what class you're sitting in. Right now you can see that the aircraft is flying nicely. We're cruising at 335 knots. I'm going to check our distance till our destination because we don't want to overfly it. We're gonna be distance is 105 nautical miles. We'll start our descent at around 60 nautical miles down to the airport, and then we'll set up APPR as soon as we get there. Looking at our map here, guys, our next waypoint, our R0944 is 069. So that will be the that will be our heading hold for our you know, for our system. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this wonderful morning flight to Los Angeles on Austrain Airlines. Alright guys, just a quick update. We're 95.4 nautical miles out. We're about 25-30 nautical miles away from our descent down to our flight level here of 6,000. And yes, that is our next flight level. I'll show you guys the other stuff here shortly. But yeah, we're cruising nicely, just so for those younger viewers that like seeing the wing, well, that's what we're going to be doing. Don't worry guys, I will find different ways to show you guys the updates as we go here. Today, this is the first episode flying from KSAN to K Lima Alpha X-Ray. So, that's why you're seeing Austrain Airlines. Yeah, obviously you can fly a whole bunch of other airlines that are in the facility, like the 737 Southwest. I know they don't operate Austrian Airlines out there, but I thought it'd be easy to just show you guys, you know, the, Alright, so really quickly, if you guys are not familiar with the Santa Catalina Islands, there it is up ahead. Now, obviously, if you're flying FSX, Flight Sim X, you would see a better view of this. But we're basically approaching the Santa Catalina Islands at this point. And so, yeah, so I will stop talking and let you guys enjoy the rest of the flight. Alright guys, we're approaching the Santa Catalina Island, 78.1 nautical miles to our destination of Los Angeles. At this point I'm going to reduce our speed to 320 knots. Slow our speed down. Actually we'll reduce to 300 knots. And we'll let the aircraft slowly start doing that. We'll put in some spoilers to help some drag out. At 60 nautical miles, we'll descend to flight level 8,000. And then at 40 nautical miles, we'll descend to 44,000. We can actually start our initial descent here momentarily as soon as we reach our... Actually, let's reduce speed to 270 now. There we go. You can see that the aircraft is reducing its speed. We don't need spoilers anymore. And yeah, we're 70 nautical miles out now. And we're just enjoying our flight up to the Santa Catalina Islands. Again, this is a full flight. So that means if you don't like cruising, then you might as well skip. I'll show you guys the current flight time. Right now we're flying about 10 minutes. Altitude, airspeed, distance. We don't need two distances. I'll show you guys the airplane load. We're about 53% loaded. And we're just slowly making our way down to the Santa Catalina Islands. This time around I will not be taking control of the aircraft when we get landing here. So basically, I'm going to have the heading selected. I will just be taking control of how much pitch. I have decided that we're not going to use the autopilot landing feature just because it's kind of buggy and I haven't quite learned how to use it yet. So we're just going to auto land it or manually land. Alright, we're coming up to 64 nautical miles to start our initial descent to flight level 9,000 at 250 feet per minute. That, and our seatbelt sign can stay on. The landing lights will start to turn them on as we descend here to flight level. We'll descend at 500 feet per minute. Our next waypoint's already coming up, so let's go ahead and decrease the size of our flight plan, and I'll show you where we're at. Alright, at this point I'm going to go ahead and descend at 800 feet per minute and descend to flight level 8,000. Alright, let's go ahead and ring the seatbelt sign. Doesn't need to be on right now. We're going to be turning to another heading here shortly, so just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alright, you're going to go ahead and start our heading here to 311, I guess. And we'll go ahead and drop our speed down to 250. Spoilers can come into flight. Turn that off. And we'll go ahead and start looking at get our HUD up so we can see what we're doing here. Alright, coming down 54 nautical miles to go. We're going to go ahead and descend down to 6,000 feet at probably about 1,000 feet per minute. And we'll reduce speed to 230 knots. You can see that I am not a professional pilot. So honestly, if you guys know how to fly planes, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the seatbelt sign at this point. Tap that twice. Basically, we're almost there. Flight time about 13 minutes now into the flight. Heading is set. We are descending through 1,500 now. 1,500, that's how much we're descending at. And we'll set flaps 1 here momentarily. Once we see that the plane is doing the thing, we'll set flaps 1 at this point down. Just because of how fast we're descending here. There we go. I think that might be a little fast for this plane. Yeah, that is a little too fast. I'm reducing our speed quite frankly here, just to get the plane slowed down. We're only about 48.3 nautical miles out, and we're still descending through flight level 9,000. We're going to descend at 2,000 feet per minute. Passing flight level 8.8 for 6,000 now. And once we get a little bit closer to our destination, we'll start our descent down even lower. So yeah, we're just descending here. You can see Los Angeles is just coming off our nose here at about, I don't know, 3-4 o'clock heading. If you guys actually look carefully out there, the white strip down there is actually Los Angeles Airport. So in all reality, we're not actually that far from the airport. It's just we look far, but we're not. Basically, when we get onto the landing system, if I crash the plane or if I fly too slow, well, then you're just going to have to forgive me. This is my first time flying it with a video. I haven't really learned, I haven't gotten all the flight, stuff down. So we're going down to 200 knots here. Coming down pretty fast here, coming through flight level 6.9 now. We're 43.3 nautical miles out. And we should be coming up on the coast of Los Angeles here momentarily. You should be seeing it starting to pop out, and then going down to 190 now. We'll put flaps. Yeah, we'll just keep this descent going, and then we'll put flaps out in a minute here. Alright. At this point, we are going to put flaps 1 down to let it. Spoilers can come off. We don't need spoilers right now. We are quite low, so the plane is just kind of figure out why there's so much speed, and we're not really requiring flaps at this point, but then it's just gonna see what it's doing. It's doing that. So I've reduced 1 set of flaps down. Keep it, alright. See if we need 2 degrees of flaps. That might be too much. I think we do. You can always put in some negative trim if it's not willing to work with us here. Go down a little bit more. Alright, at this point we'll descend down to flight level 4,000. Actually, let's go 3,500. And we'll go ahead and descend at 1,800 feet per minute. And I'll show you the left wing with the flaps extended. You can see there's already flaps 2 out. And at this point we can actually reduce our speed to 170, 165 actually would be an appropriate speed for this type of flight. So about 13.3 nautical miles out from our actual landing zone. So just sit back, relax, and just enjoy the rest of this approach. If I make a mistake, don't worry. It's our first time flying. It's not gonna hurt if you do make a mistake. Obviously, I just wanted to bring you guys back the Infinite Flight series and let you guys have a feel for a full flight like this. Alright, at this point, I think we're gonna go ahead and start turning on to course here. We're 18.9 nautical miles from ILS 007. I think we're going to go ahead and see where we're at. And then we might decide whether or not we want to turn. No, we're not going to turn right now. Continue flying straight for a little bit. I think this is the amount of flaps you want at the speed that we're cruising at here. 165 is our speed. We've got 2 degrees of flaps set out. And we're just waiting for the airport to come around. And then we'll be landing here shortly. Alright, passing flight level 4.4 for 3.5 now, as we are going to start to intercept the ILS localizer for runway, what is the runway? I don't even know we chose, but yeah. Los Angeles is just off the coast there, as you can see in that white little arc. That is Los Angeles Airport. Make sure all our lights are on. We should be able to see our landing lights. Strobe lights are on, that's good. Flight time now is 19 minutes, still cruising pretty nicely here. We're not gonna we're not gonna turn exactly when it says for us to turn. We're gonna turn a little bit earlier and a little bit more on course here. We could actually fly up to Zimu and then turn, but exactly what runway we're gonna pick, I'll see once we start our turn over to the area. We're gonna go ahead and descend down to flight level 3000 now as we start our turn down to Los Angeles. Alright. So we're coming up on the coast of Los Angeles here. It's about, I don't know. Let's see what the Zulu time is right now. It's about 18:41 in the evening, but I set it for a sunrise flight. And we're gonna start turning here momentarily here. So flying through 3,300 feet, getting the plane down quite quickly and nicely. .6 nautical miles to go, and we finally stopped our descent. And at this point, I'm going to start our turn to heading of 070. Put in some more negative trim here. It's wanting to tilt up. So we'll start our turn here. And then as soon as we get our heading locked, we'll push the APPR button. Hopefully, if nothing goes wrong. Or we might just manually approach the runway here. We'll see. Alright. So let's see what happens if we do push it. See what it does. That's what I don't want it to do. Oh, heading, altitude. That also. Oh my god. Why is it doing that all of a sudden? Sorry guys. I don't know what just happened. Dude, I'm recording a video. Alright, I'm gonna take manual control. I don't know exactly what happened there. Obviously, the aircraft decided to do something stupid that I don't even understand. So I have ended up disabling the autopilot due to the fact that the aircraft decided to do that. Now that I have disabled it, I have to watch where I'm going, because obviously our aircraft is not in line with the runway here. We're going for ILS 07 today. We'll go ahead and put the gears down, and then we're going to... No. 6, 7. That should do. Like I said, I can't tell exactly where the airport is, so I can't get a visual on it. But basically, our speed is going to come down a little bit more. 145 is going to be our approach speed, I believe. We should be lining up on the runway. Lolmo here is playing another game, but he won't turn down his volume, so you're going to probably hear his video. We're going to play, I will upload another video of Minecraft someday soon. I don't know when I'm going to exactly do it. I'm just trying to keep the plane. Oh, we might have to make a ditching here. I'm gonna increase the quite low. I'm gonna try to take over the heading hole now. It's starting to annoy. Okay, so up there. Oh, we're way off. Way off, guys. I do apologize. Obviously, I'm not a professionally trained flight expert at this. That's probably not going to be the best landing ever. So I'm not really paying attention to the signs right now. More that I want to get the plane. Oh my god, look at this thing. This won't keep a steady rate. Let's go ahead and turn in heading hold right now. That way we don't even need to worry about it. There it is. There's the runway light. So go ahead and add a little bit more positive trim here to help us get on the runway. I guess when we're doing this game, we're gonna have to use the trim quite a bit. Whoa, why is it still doing that? The plane just does not want to cooperate today. I don't know what is up with this. That's a more trim. Flaps 3 now. So yeah, guys, I do apologize for that weird approach onto the runway. That didn't go as planned. Obviously, I'm not used to flying with the iPod, system, because the screen is a lot smaller and the sensitivity on this thing is just pretty dang good. So I'm gonna turn the plane over to the runway now. And we'll do minor adjustments as we go here. Select heading home for a minute. Nope. 1,000. Go up a little bit more. That should do it. And then this time, when we land, we'll know the exact heading for the runway. Coming over 1,000 feet, which is fine. But I think we're a tad bit low. To land here, we may need to require a little bit more of a turn. Get it on center. Heading select now. And that should bring us down. Go spoilers armed at this point. I'm gonna kick up the speed a little bit more. So yeah, hopefully we can even get the plane on the ground. That'll be my goal. I know that landing was kind of sloppy. I get it. It's probably not one of my best landings either. As soon as we get over to the land here, we'll keep the heading selector on until the last minute. But until then, I'm gonna keep it running here. We're coming out over 600 feet. Looks like we're doing pretty good now. Looks like the aircraft has settled itself down. And now we can just start our approach down to the runway. Again, as you guys can see, I'm not using full flaps. I'm using quite a tad bit of a lot of trim to get the plane to get the speed down. So reducing that. Yeah, we're way too high. High. Heading select. Oh. This is gonna be a slop. As long as we get it on the runway. Alright, we got it down with a sloppy approach. In fact, that was probably one of my sloppiest runs ever. Reverse green, spoilers are out. Like I said, as soon as the episodes start rolling out, we'll get better and better at this stuff. This stuff all comes with practice. I'm not used to flying these approaches, you know, with the iPod. And as you guys know, flying an approach like this can be quite challenging. So, yeah. So yeah, anyways guys, this is gonna probably wrap it up here as we landed here in Kilo Lima Alpha X-Ray at Los Angeles, even though our approach was quite sloppy, I have to admit myself. But yeah, we're here down at Los Angeles, and we're going to taxi off. We'll clean up the plane a little bit. I'll pull on the brakes in a minute here. And I have to say myself, that landing was quite sloppy. Wasn't the best landing of my life, you know, so. But the good thing is we're down, we're safe. Passengers had their seatbelts fastened. So I'll just show you guys the replay of the landing. It was quite a sloppy approach. We had a good approach here. See? This part was actually pretty decent. But I think we tilted the aircraft up a little too much. And then the plane, see? We kind of flared a little too much there too, but anyways guys, hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys next time.